Today on the podcast, I'm talking with Terra Osman again. This is the third part of a 4-part series. This was an interview that I split up into 4 parts. So next week will be the last part, but I'm really glad I broke this interview up into 4 parts because I feel taking small amounts of information is a little bit better than having this big interview that you kind of have to break down yourself. I've broken it down for you. So if you ever want to come back and revisit these episodes, you have them available to you. So today she's going to walk us through how to use the Farmish app and all the best ways to use it and how other people are using it. And some things in here I was actually, when she was talking, I was surprised about. I had not even thought about a way to use the app. That's why we talk to the creators of things, so they can share with us the purpose for why they designed it and how best to use it. So I hope you enjoy this episode. And if you're able to have the app downloaded and ready to use right in front of you as she's talking, she'll walk us through how to use it. And so enjoy this episode. This is the Homesteading for Beginners podcast, and I'm Mona Weathers, your homesteading mentor and coach. I'm here to encourage you to pursue your homesteading goals with the right mindset in a way that is healthy for you, your family, and your community. If you desire to establish a solid foundation for your homesteading journey, then you are in the right place. Join me as I share stories from the past 20 plus years of our own journey, as well as practical and actionable steps you can take to start and maintain a healthy homestead. Okay, so I wanted you to actually try to walk us through. Everybody went and downloaded the Farmish app by now, I'm sure. Now I want you to pull up the app and walk us through, and the listeners can, if you're driving, of course, don't do this, but if you're not, I mean, a lot of moms probably listen to this and you're sitting there on your phone anyway or something. Maybe you're doing dishes. I don't know. I always like to try to imagine what people are doing when they're listening to this podcast.
For me.
It's always
or laundry.
Yeah. So you stop for a moment and look at download the Farmish app. It's on Apple and Android, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. And is it available outside the U.S.?
Canada. U.S.
Canada.
and Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
U.S. and Canada. Okay. That's good to know. And I want you to listen to Terra and her walking you through what you would do once you open the app. So
So when you first open the app and you register, it will ask for contact information or location. You can just put your zip code. So you don't have to put your address. Even if you're selling, you don't have to put your address in any of your listings or your profile. You can use your city, you can use a public meetup location or your zip code. So that's most important when you first log on, is to use your zip code, because then we can show you what's available near you. And then the home screen is going to be a map, and it'll be a map with pins of the Farmish logo. And underneath that, it will say listings near you. So, you got some eucalyptus here. So, and you can zoom in, you can zoom out. That map acts very much like Zillow, and then it will just populate what you see. So you can do that. You can search by location if you are going on vacation, or you travel somewhere, or you're for your commute to work. You can search by location, and then you can.
I like that. I'm sorry. I need to talk about that, because there's a lot of times, especially people with special needs, dietary needs, and they may need that ability to get some organic food because their body flares up if it's not organic or whatever like that. There could be so many ways people could use it. I had not thought about vacations.
Yeah.
Because there's places.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because there's places usually you go on vacation, and so there's more people a lot of times. Yeah. Like, I mean, depending on where you're going, but so that means that there's probably more available to you, perhaps, if you're going to a bigger city or something like that.
And part of my intent with that is I love driving up north in northern Michigan. We vacation there a lot, and it's a beautiful agricultural country, a lot of wineries and hop farms and all kinds of amazing things. And you kind of have to find like handwritten signs
Yeah.
And so you have to take a couple turns off the main road. And I thought I would love when we go up there for 4 or 5 days to find a you pick cherry farm and pick a couple pounds of cherries, or to find a farm stand. So that was part of my vision for Farmish, is to be able to travel. And I've heard from a lot of people who are living in motorhomes or vans who use Farmish on the road, who use Farmish to find eggs in the new city that they're in, or produce, or farmers markets. And so that's been really cool to see.
I love that. Yeah.
So when you're at the map, you can search, and then you go to the listings. From there, you can navigate to their profile to see what else they have available. I think one of the most important things that makes this a community builder is that you can create a list of favorites of listings, and you can follow profiles. So I think that's one of the most important things, to keep that in mind for people. Like if you may not be thinking about turkey for Thanksgiving right now, but I've already seen a couple farms offering heritage breed organic turkey with a deposit right now, because they're ordering turkeys and they want to know if people are interested in buying them. So and so by following and keeping up with the local farms, you'll get that information when you might otherwise not have access to it, and you'll miss it. And then come October, you're looking for a local turkey.
Yeah.
And then in the menu, you can go to create a listing, and anyone can create a listing. You don't need a special business license. You don't need to be a farmer or any of that. And you can create a listing for things like backyard chicken eggs, produce, garden supplies, plants, trees, honey, indoor plants, flowers, animals, animal feed, garden supplies like compost, fertilizer, raised beds. And as long as it's legal in your area, you can sell it.
Right.
So, for example, I think in California, you need a cottage food license, where in Michigan, you don't need a license to sell cottage food.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. In California, it depended on what it was like, but anything that you had to you handled has to go through the cottage food license if it's from your home.
So if you are canning things and you want to sell those and it's legal in your state, you absolutely can sell them. Nearly all states, you can sell like uncut, unprocessed produce with little to no restriction. You can just offer those for sale. The same with eggs. Most states are pretty open about that. So it just depends on what the rules are near you. But most of the things are pretty easy to figure out. And then you can create a listing for any of those things on Farmish. And those free listings expire after 14 days, but you can refresh them at any point as often as you want at no charge.
Okay. That's nice. I saw something on your website that was a resource you have. Is that what can you talk about what that resource is for sellers? Yeah.
Yeah. So we're continually updating that. I might update it again in the next week or so. And that just kind of gives a breakdown of the different examples of things that you can sell, all the different categories we have, because otherwise you can't really see them unless you're creating a listing.
Right. Okay.
So it breaks down the categories. It kind of gives some tips about having clear photos, a clear profile name, listing title, and just some tips. Like you can list multiple things in one post. You don't necessarily need separate listings. It's still going to come up in the search. So because it's so hyper local, people locally will click on your listing and see what you have and multiple things. But we also send that out when people create a listing. We'll send out the seller's guide.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, those types of things I get into because I want to know how to use it the best way. Yeah. I want to know how I want to use the apps the best way. And somebody told me once, and it's just forever been something I think about, is the people who learn technology the fastest are the people who press the most buttons.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
But just think about kids. babies.
Yeah.
Knowing how to use an iPad, like just avoid the big red delete button. That's
right.
That's the only thing that you need to know.
Yeah, for sure.
So get in that app and just start pressing buttons, and you'll figure it out too. But that's good that you have the resource as well. Okay, that's it for this episode. Next week, we will be talking about supporting local farms, and how Terra has been getting the word out about the app. But also the topic is really about how you can support a local business by using the app, or how you can start your own business by using the app. As well as support a small business like Terra's. Is one of the motivations I have for sharing her app, is that I really want her to do well with it, so that I'm supporting her small business as well. So I hope you come back for the part 4 of this interview series with Terra Osman. Don't forget, the app is free to use, it's free to download, but if you're ready to join their market membership, you can use code MONA, M-O-N-A, to get a $10 off discount for your first month of the membership. So just put that code in, and then you can get $10 off. Okay, thank you for listening.